On this episode of the Procedurally Generated Show, Ethan cries with the devil and Tony jumps around a lot. We talk about the biggest news stories of the week and answer any of your questions. Well, howdy, everybody. Welcome to the Procedurally Generated Show. I'm your host, Tony, and joining me this week, I've got Ethan.
You know, I had something clever to say and I completely forgot it already.
That would make it very hard to say something clever.
Or did I have anything clever to say at all? The world may never know.
We'll never know. I'm still hungry, Ethan.
You should have ate that cereal instead of talking whatever it was we were talking about earlier.
We were talking about Warhammer books, read by Betty White.
Yes, that was a conversation.
It was. For people that are Patreons, they get to listen to the pre-show and may have heard that conversation.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil what happened in that conversation, but it happened.
Ethan learned something about Betty White he didn't know. That's what you did during that conversation.
The Patreons might have learned something as well, so yay for everyone.
They're all smart. They probably knew. Oh wait, that sounds really bad. That makes it sound like I just insulted you, and I didn't mean to.
Just insult the guy who records and edits and uploads the show. Gosh,
please forgive me. That was not what I intended. Oh man, that's what happens when you fall asleep on the couch before the podcast. You just turn into an insult machine.
Obviously.
My bad. Please forgive me.
Woke up on the wrong side of the couch or something. I don't know.
And that's really hard to do because there's only one side of the couch you can wake up on.
I'm thinking the science behind it now.
Well, while you do that, let's talk about what you've been playing this week.
Devil May Cry 5 came out Friday, officially. I got mine the day before, so I was like, hey, I'm streaming this today. And so I did. Game is really good. Nice to see a return to Devil May Cry. Nero is still superior to Dante in gameplay elements. Apparently I'm really enjoy playing V because he's the new guy and he is a completely different type of person to play as. And Dante still does Dante.
So how many playable characters are there in the game?
I've only gotten 3 characters.
Okay.
I don't know if I can play as Trish or Lady or he who shall not be named for the sake of not being sure if he's in the game or not to play as.
No, Mario's not in the game.
I just said don't name him or something, didn't I?
Sorry. I was asleep, man. What do you want me to do?
Drink caffeine? I don't know.
I just started a fresh pot of tea, so that'll be ready soon.
What kind of tea?
Just some good old-fashioned Oklahoma sweet tea.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, Devil May Cry 5. So gameplay-wise, if you've played the demo that came out, pretty sure you play as Nero in that, and the whole arm mechanic on there, that new equip thing on there where you get different arms is pretty cool.
Hmm.
Mega Buster is kind of a favorite for me at the moment, but I don't use it all the time because uh, it costs money to get more of those, and you never know when you're going to find them out on the field or where.
Yeah.
So I don't just go around destroying them willingly as I come across them. But I am getting better at using the arm abilities here and there, and found some cool little combos I like to do, like knocking the enemy straight up in the air, jumping up, and then doing the special and knocking them straight down with a hand smash. So it's kind of like playing as DMC for Nero.
Interesting.
Yeah, he just doesn't have the same impact like he did there, but it's really cool being able to do some stuff like that.
Yeah. So, how far into the game are you at this? Do you know?
For anyone who is playing the game and interested in where I am, I just got the SDT, letter
I have
D as in dog.
no idea what you're talking about.
Well, there's a thing called Devil Trigger, and if that's a hint towards what I just said. Um, Also, I guess you could say I'm at the first time you get to select any of the three characters to play as in the story.
Okay.
Uh, so yeah, Dante, he still plays like Dante. Has his four styles, I think is what they're called. Trickster and Swordmaster seem to be my forte on those now. And I just every time I use that Devil Trigger on there, and you're using the sword, he just kind of goes flying everywhere. So I'm kind of annoyed by that.
Yeah.
But he's not, he doesn't feel as useless as he did in 4, where he's doing the same thing, but you're just kind of struggling to keep him doing constant damage. This one, it's like he's making up for it by doing a lot of damage each hit.
Yeah. So when he's got the different fighting styles, I'm thinking, do you switch like you do in, like, say, Yakuza between the different fighting styles?
Just hit a direction on the D-pad.
Okay, so it's the exact same way.
Yeah, they did that to him in 4. In 3, you had to select it and work on that ability, and then you could switch it at checkpoints.
And which version of Dante is in the game?
You mean like,
Because hasn't there been like multiple versions of Dante in the past?
well, there's Dante proper, and then Dante from that other game that people had problems with,
Yeah.
which only this is proper Dante.
Okay.
V, he is interesting.
How so?
His gimmick is using summoned creatures to fight for him. So you kind of just summon them, lock onto a target, and then you're pushing buttons to attack like you would with your sword and guns, but you can attack with both the summoned creatures at the same time. And then his Devil Trigger will summon a third creature, a bigger, badder thing, and it'll kind of just do its own thing. And they won't defeat the creatures. You have to go and manually deliver the final blow, and so he kind of just teleports around doing that.
Yeah.
So his mechanics are strange in that aspect, and then uh, he uses a cane to get around, but he's pretty quick on his feet. But he's kind of a weakling or something. It's really weird seeing how he plays. But once you get used to him, I think I prefer using him over the other two.
Really?
Yeah, it's just because it's so easy for me to get combos and everything with him, and it seems like I have more control of the battlefield. I guess you could call it
Yeah. And the Devil May Cry series has always been sort of like combo driven, hasn't
combo style driven. Yes,
it? Yeah.
and he's the one I'm getting the triple S ranks with. I don't think I've managed that with either Nero or Dante. Yeah, think I've only gotten up to double S ranks.
Yeah. In games like that, the only thing I have to compare it to is like Bayonetta, and I am awful at that. Where like every time at the end of every fight, you get ranked, and I always end up with like a C or a D.
Yeah, the ranking system in Bayonetta has always been a mystery to me. I cannot figure it out. It's like you have to have a really high combo, you can't do a lot of damage or something, but you still have to defeat the monster. I never figured it out, and that's how you had to farm for Halos in the first game, was doing a boss fight by doing as little damage as possible the whole time, doing it as fast as possible as well.
Yeah, which is weird because I just want to go in, kill all the enemies, and move on.
I'm just sorry. I was like, how did they do it in Metal Gear Rising?
I don't remember.
You they did the same thing. They told you at the end of the fight, so you had no idea how good you were doing in the actual fight, I believe.
Yeah.
Anyway, since the game just came out, I'm not going to talk too much else about it because of spoiler reasons and all that.
Okay.
Um, yeah. So, Devil May Cry 5. I'm really enjoying it. I've streamed everything I've done on there so far, so if you're interested in that, you can go check out my stream.
There you go.
Oh, wait. The multiplayer aspect of it. I forgot about that. It is a little strange. You'll go start certain levels, and if two of the characters are going to encounter in the same area in time, story plot wise,
Hmm.
it'll say on the side of the screen featuring, and it'll give you whoever's in the area at that time. So you can,
Interesting.
if you're lucky, you can kind of see them in the background and encounter them. And at the end of the level, you're asked to give them a rating, and it's just a good rating you can give them. It's like, hey, thumbs up, good for you. Or you give them no rating. There's no bad rating, so it's a little confusing why they even bothered with it, in my opinion.
Yeah. I guess they just don't want people to, troll other players.
Well, even if you get enough good ratings, you get something.
Oh,
But
dude,
you don't ever know if you got a good rating, so it's, or at least if you do, I haven't gotten one.
there's never like an indicator popping up saying this person that you played with just rated you good.
Again, if there is, I haven't gotten one.
Okay.
If you're playing by yourself, I think it says featuring the DMC crew on there as well, which is what it was doing when you first start the game, going through the tutorial stuff.
So how many people is it just you and another person, or how many people can show up in an area?
I want to say there can be me and two other people, considering there's three characters, but it's been far and few between so far.
Oh, it sounds interesting.
It is interesting. I just think it needs some work to be fleshed out
Yeah.
because I'm
Is there a way to turn it off?
just play offline. I guess I think there might be a switch on there. There is a setting. There is a setting where you can change it to be friends or the priority. So, like if me and Stuart were playing at the same time, he would be the priority over everyone else and be in the game.
Can you run through the whole game like that, where if you and a friend are playing and you're at the same place, can you just run through the whole game together?
No, they separate people out on there constantly,
No.
and it's like the one time I did see someone else. It's not that I actually saw them. It's more that I saw a battle happening across this river or lake or whatever, and I could see some explosions happening, and I was like, okay, there's someone fighting stuff over there, and that's pretty much all I got from it.
So there's multiplayer, but it's not really heavily integrated multiplayer. It doesn't sound
As far as I know, yes.
okay.
There was one thing where I did a boss fight, and it was V and Nero in the same area, and I controlled one character, and as far as I could tell, the other character was controlled by the computer. It didn't tell me a character name or even just the DMC crew feature
Yeah,
on there, so I'm assuming that was a planned event at that point.
yeah. It sounds like that's what was probably the case.
So, yeah, Devil May Cry 5. There you go.
Well, nice.
Speaking of
Well,
multiplayer,
you have had three playable characters to choose from. I've been playing a game that has five playable characters to choose from.
only 5?
Only five.
Okay.
So you got the red guy, the green guy, the blue guy.
Is he still in the
The
game?
I think the blue one is the yellow one got replaced. I think, or maybe backwards.
I
Maybe
think the yellow one's still in the game.
maybe that's the case. And then the pink girl and the purple thing.
Nabbit.
So yes, I've been playing New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe.
Good game. Heard great things about it.
It is exactly the same game as the Wii U version, with the exception of the switching of one of the Toads out for Toadette. Uh,
They they should have just left the other Toad in there and made Toadette optional.
or at least just giving you the sixth playable character to play as.
Right?
So, or when you choose the Toad, you then get to pick a color. I don't know.
Customizable Toads. Yay.
So I've basically though been playing the game three different. I'm playing through the game three different times. Once by myself,
Mm-hmm.
uh, once with Andrew,
Mm-hmm.
and then once with Jake and Patrick. Uh,
So Sonic and Tails, Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. Got it.
exactly. Uh, so, and on the one I'm playing with Jake, we are two worlds from the end. We've finished six of the eight. I think I finished the first world by myself, and two of the worlds I got through the desert with Andrew. So I'm at very different places in all my different playthroughs. Uh,
That's not
I
confusing at all.
I've had to keep track of three different save files and which one I'm playing and where I'm at in which one. It's been really interesting. Um, but I really, really like this game. I think it doesn't get the credit that it necessarily deserves. I think this could be the best of the new Super Mario Brothers series. Wii was really, really good, but I think this one could be better.
This one has Super Luigi U, right?
Yes, it comes with that bundled in, so you get New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe and New Super Luigi U together in the one pack. I haven't started playing through Super Luigi yet. I played that on the Wii U. I never finished it, but I played through part. I'm waiting until I finish the game here with Jake and Patrick before I start playing Super Luigi.
Hmm.
Uh, I am, of course, playing through the game as Luigi because there is no other character, as far as I'm concerned. The other four characters don't exist. But yeah, I really like the level design. I like they do some clever things with the I don't know, the flying squirrel power up. Um, it's a really, really fun game. And playing multiplayer, I've not been as frustrated this time around as I was previously. I don't know why that is, but I've not been a huge fan of multiplayer Mario in the past because none of the characters can occupy the same space like you can in like a Kirby game
Oh yeah,
or
the collision stuff on there.
yeah, the collision stuff has generally caused a lot of frustration with people bouncing off your head and sending you into pits when you weren't expecting it and things like that. And it hasn't been that noticeable this time around. I don't know if we're just playing the game better or if something has changed slightly. I don't think that's the case. I think
Better.
um, we're just better at the game this time around than we were the first time. Um,
That is definitely way more fun when you're playing with someone who complements your game style and you them. So where you're working together and like giving the boosted jump to someone else, and you can still
yeah,
counteract for whatever they're doing, and all that.
and then there definitely has been a lot of that where we've been using each other to reach places that you maybe not normally would be able to access. And it's been really fun to see those. Sometimes they've been inadvertent, and you're just like, oh, hey, inadvertent teamwork works.
Yep.
Um, so that's been really interesting. It's been really fun to play through the game again because it's been a while since I played it. I played it back when it first came out, and I think it was. I don't remember. Was it a launch title for the Wii U,
I don't think it was a launch title. I don't even think it was
or
launch window.
it was very early in the Wii U's life, I think. Um, but it's been fun playing through that. And then Jake and I the other night played through some of the boost mode
Mm-hmm.
levels, which are really fun. As you gain more and more coins and more power ups, the level starts to move faster and faster, and you eventually are just trying to get through the level as fast as you can. Um,
Nice.
so we've played through all of those, trying to get faster times because it keeps track of how fast you've played through the levels, and so we've just been trying to improve our times more and more. And that is actually it's really hard, but it's really fun because if any player dies, it basically starts the speed back over, and you have to build it back up. So if you had been getting on a roll and gotten really fast, and we're getting through the level really fast, and then someone dies, all of that momentum comes crashing to a halt.
Oh
Um,
man.
but once you do get in a roll again and get the level moving, it's really really fun to play through the game that way. And then there's a second multiplayer mode called Coin Battle, where you're trying. It gives you a level, and you're trying to get through it and collect the most coins, and the person that gets the most coins wins. And Jake and I had a ton of fun playing that and trying, to mess the other player up, doing things. It's a way for you to play through the game, but you're trying to do things to irritate the other player. Um, and when it's deliberate like that, it makes it a lot of fun. So you're trying to do things like cut off a path so that they can't get to it, or jump in a way that is going to block them, or if there's a lever that would open up a big or a switch that opens up a big section of coin, you want to try to force them to open it or just leave it alone and sacrifice that opportunity to get a bunch of coins to just move faster through the level. Um, there have been other times where we've been playing through and I see a pipe, and a pipe comes up, and instead of going through and grabbing a bunch more coins, I will go through the pipe quickly because he then only has like 5 seconds to collect some coins before he is forced into the pipe. Um, and so there's a little bit of like strategy involved with trying to get through the levels. There are 8 levels that are designed specifically for that, and then it also has every other level in the game has a coin battle mode. So we may actually try to play through the game a second time through coin battle mode and see who wins. I'm pretty certain he's going to win because we played 9 levels the other day and he won 8 of them. So there have been some really close ones, and then there have been some where he clearly was much better at getting coins than I was. Uh, but then there was one level where I couldn't do anything because there's some not Peach, sorry, Toadette and Nabbit have a huge advantage in underwater levels
Are they just faster
because
in the water, or?
they're much faster in water. They swim. They don't bob. up and down like Mario and Luigi
Mario
do.
do.
So, so you know how normally in the level you're hitting the button and Mario will swim and he'll go up a little bit and he'll
Yeah.
start to fall down and you just keep doing that over and over again. That's not the case. Toadette and Nabbit swim like how Mario does in 3D games where he's holding on to like a Koopa shell and he has just like he's like a submarine
Oh,
underwater
they
at
just
that.
propel forward the whole time.
Yeah. So they don't have that bobbing motion. He has direct control over them and wherever he wants to go as Toadette or Nat he can do. So in underwater levels those characters have a huge advantage over the Toads or Mario and Luigi. And I haven't found any levels where Mario and Luigi have an advantage over Toadette in any way.
Of course not. That's yeah.
So,
You can't
but
can't beat the Peach Crown.
that's true. That's true. Um, it's really sad that you can't do anything with the crown if you're not Toadette. Like you can't even pick it up and basically just waste the item. So, um, I tried a few times to do that, and you just can't. So,
Well, you gotta pick it up and throw it at Bowser.
you can't do that though. I mean, I guess Nabbit could pick it because Nabbit is he's the easiest character to get through the game because he doesn't take damage from enemies.
Right. He is. I
And
guess
then
he is technically an enemy that's working on your side.
I guess that is the case because in the original game he was a bad guy.
I'm guessing this is
You had
new Super Mario Bros. On the Wii.
yeah, and the
That
Wii U.
I don't
He
recall
was
him
in
being
the
a bad guy in Wii U.
he was.
No, you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
I
You
know
couldn't
there
play
was like
Nabbit.
you could chase him in levels, but he wasn't like an enemy.
No, he wasn't an enemy, but that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
He would do things like that. Uh, so, but he can't take damage from enemies, and then any power ups that he picks up, he can't use them. So he can't get a mushroom and grow. He can't use a fire flower or an ice flower or anything like that. But what he does is he'll pick them up and he'll put them in his bag, and then at the end of the level, once you hit the flagpole, any items that he's collected turn into one ups.
Nice.
So you'll hit that flagpole, and then he'll stand on the ground, and then you just hear the one up sound over and over and over, depending on how many power ups that he picked up throughout the level. So he's probably the character that's the easiest to get a lot of extra lives.
Makes sense.
But of course, I haven't run into any issue lives in the game. I've not died and gotten a game over at all. Lives are very easy to come by in the game.
Unless you're just really bad at the game.
Unless you're just really bad at the game. And this one doesn't have any of the things that previous games have had, like the white raccoon suit that would let you fly forever or become invincible. At least I don't think there's anything like
I
that.
think you only get that if you get like constant deaths or something, like 5 or 6 in a row.
So, I mean, I'll have to go back and look, but I don't remember that being in this game at all.
I want to say there was the white raccoon suit where you could get like a double jump instead of a single boosted jump.
Yeah, I know you could do that in Wii and 3D Land and
Yeah, they just give
3D
you
World.
the instant win suit.
Yeah, basically. Um, but I'm loving the game, and I'm glad it got a second life on Switch, um, because it really did get overlooked being on the Wii U. So now though the Switch needs the Galaxy Collection.
Yeah,
It really does. I want to see Galaxy 1 and 2 in HD on the Switch.
And it comes as a pre-order bonus for Galaxy 3.
That would be okay. Except I want to be able to get those games without having to get Galaxy 3.
They would allow that to happen after the game came out.
That's true. The first game would be on the cartridge, and the second game would be download only. You know that's how it would
Game
work.
3 would be down or on the cartridge. The other two would be download only.
Ugh, let's not do that.
Too late.
So
I've already said it. Nintendo
it's gonna happen now.
Nintendo
It's
already
gonna be
doing
announced
it.
at E3. They're gonna give you a special shout out. Thank you, Ethan, for this ID. But you
Just,
still have to buy the.
that's fine. They can just forward the idea money to my bank account.
You get 100 gold My Nintendo coins.
How many did they give me? Was it just how many platinum coins did they say they gave me the other day?
Uh, did you get platinum coins?
Yeah, I got plat coins.
You said 300. I thought you said 300 gold coins, which would have been way nicer.
Oh yeah, but no, platinum. That's what they gave me.
Yeah, 300 platinum coins is useless. I mean, you could buy a calendar.
I'm swimming in
hopefully
platinum coins, and there's nothing I want to spend them on.
Yeah, I haven't even checked in a while. I only used the gold coins at this. Uh, and I used all the gold coins I had the other day to buy Undertale.
Hold on, I'm checking to see how many coins I have.
You have 1,236. That would be a weird number of coins to have.
Hold on, my me was flying around. All right, I just got 10 more.
Awesome.
I have 720 platinum coins
That's it?
versus 185 gold coins.
You need to register your games, man.
What games?
Any games you have on the Switch.
I've registered my games. This is all I have.
I had like 900 gold coins the other day. That's how I got Delta, not Deltarune. That was free. Undertale.
Oh, hey, they're advertising Mario Day.
Yep, that's tomorrow.
Tomorrow, as of this recording.
Yes.
Yesterday,
time people
as
are-
of this episode going live for Patreons. 2 days ago, as of going live for public. Ugh,
Oh, I have 1,080 platinum right now.
brag about it, gosh.
Sorry. 1,100. I just got 30 extra because I haven't checked it in a while. And
Oh.
45 gold coins. So I've got 45 cents off any game I want to buy on the eShop.
30% off Mario Kart 7.
Hey,
30% off Mario Sports Superstars.
hey. Yeah, I mean the Mario Day deal they're doing is not bad if you don't have any of those games.
They don't have Super Mario 3D Land on here.
No,
They have
it's
3D
just
World.
Switch game.
No,
Oh, is it?
no, it's like half 3DS and half Wii U.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Six out of the 9 games are 3DS.
Wow.
So 2/3 are 3DS. There we go.
All right. Well, that's what I've been playing. So let's take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll talk about the news. Okay, so this week's news segment was almost put together entirely by you, Ethan.
Almost entirely.
Almost entirely. I got one story snuck in there. But the first one this week is that Square Enix has announced that Octopath Traveler has sold 1.5 million units, which for a new franchise is pretty good.
Yeah, I still need to get a copy of that. It looks great.
I do too. I am kicking myself that I haven't played this yet. I played both the demos that were available for it. That game is beautiful, like straight up beautiful. And the story, at least the couple that I played, they were not messing around either. It's got some pretty intense stuff going on in the story. But naturally, because the game is doing so well, that means Square Enix is going to want to do more stuff with it. And they announced a new game for the franchise that will take place before the events of the first game. This is a prequel to the Switch game, and it's called Octopath Traveler Champions of the Continent. So, one thing to keep in mind, though, is this game is not coming to Switch.
Nope, this game is coming to
So,
your mobile device of choice for communications, usually for the most part, like calling or
a phone.
texting. A phone,
Yes.
yes.
It is a free to download game that will release on both iOS and Android later this year. Uh,
So before you pull out your torch and pitchfork and go after Square Enix for that, that's not the only announcement of a new Octopath game.
that is true.
There is another one, and it's coming to console, but they haven't revealed anything about it yet because it's not ready for people to see.
Yeah, they basically just said, "Hey, you know what? We're gonna make a mobile game, but we know you're not gonna like that, so we're also gonna make another console game. Calm down, don't kill us. We want to do both, and they're gonna do both. And a game like Octopath Traveler, I think, would work on a mobile platform. It's not a control heavy game. The 2D RPGs generally work fairly well on a mobile device.
This was
So,
I forget this Octopath is turn based and it like Final Fantasy.
yes, yeah, it's just like any other.
Okay,
It harkens back to those old Super Nintendo style RPGs.
okay.
It just looks much prettier than.
Man, imagine if they decide to like redo Final Fantasy 6 or whatever, any of the SNES ones, and just did it with this the Octopath engine,
I would buy every single one.
right?
If they did 1 through 6 in this style, especially 4, because 4 is the best. I don't care what anybody says. 4 is better than 6. Come at me. It's true. You know it's true.
I've never played 4 or 6, and I haven't
uh,
finished 5
so,
or 1 or 2 or 3.
but yeah, I would play any old school RPG done in this visual style. It looks like a diorama in motion, is what
or
it looks like.
or 8
Um,
or 9 or 10, 10 2, 11,
they could do
12,
they,
13
they could do
3.
Dragon Quest 11. They could do that. Would be good because Dragon Quest 11 has that 3DS version. Uh,
Yeah,
so
technically I have finished Final Fantasy 14. Oh, right, we're talking Octopath, aren't we?
Octopath,
Sorry, I
Octopath
was counting
Traveler.
which Final Fantasies I've beaten. I've eaten like
there,
probably 3 of them.
there are too many to count. So, but yeah, 2 new Octopath games coming. One of them will be out at least in Japan later this year. I don't think they've said yet for sure that it would be coming stateside this year, or if it will be Japan and then it'll come here later.
I'm sure
But
it's
at
going to
least
depend if the demand is high enough, but even if it is high, that's still up to someone just saying, alright, fine, we'll do it. And then if
yeah.
they do it or not, unlike a certain company, it's like, hey, Fantasy Star Online too. Just gonna rub more salt on that wound there. Sorry.
Oof, that's a hard pill to swallow. So, but yeah, more Octopath coming later this year. Uh,
Hmm. Oh,
Deltarune,
right,
which
show notes.
yes, Deltarune, which is the follow-up to
Undertale.
many people's favorite uh, old school looking game, Undertale, which I am currently playing through. I think I'm most of the way through Undertale. Um,
Are you slaughtering
no,
everyone on there?
no, I'm not. I will get the not good ending when I finally
I
finish it, but I will not get the you've killed everybody in your path.
I don't think you'll be able to finish it because you're on that path. And that has like one of the worst boss.
I've killed like 2 people in the game.
Yeah, good luck whenever you get that far.
So I killed my mom, and then I killed some random vegetable thing or something on accident. Um, but Deltarune came out on February 28th, I believe. It's free to download. It's like a 2 or 3 hour long first chapter to the game. But it has
Well,
been.
it was free to download, you should say.
That's true, because in North America, it has been delisted from the eShop due to an ESRB issue. And
Uh,
what exactly that issue is, we don't know.
all I know is Toby Fox tweeted out from the Undertale / Deltarune Twitter account that
Mhm.
Deltarune Chapter 1 for Nintendo Switch is temporarily unavailable. Someone is sending me a text message. It says that in the tweet, actually. Is unavailable to download in the North American eShop due to issues with the rating in certain territories. We are contacting Nintendo of America to try and get it back up as soon as possible. We apologize for any inconvenience.
Yes. So,
So if you have a PS4 or a PC, download it on that. I don't know if it's on Xbox One, but if it is, grab it on that.
yeah, and it's still available in other regions, just not in North America at the moment. I would
So
imagine it won't be down long.
so once they get that worked out, I'm sure it'll be back on there. It's just probably some error. Someone put something somewhere. I don't know.
And then if you did grab it before it was delisted, you can still play it with no problem. It'll still launch and you'll still be able to play the game. You just can't download it from the eShop right now. So, and then we got some news about Death Strand. What's going on with that, Ethan?
This is just some quick news on that one. Death Stranding. There was a interview with Kojima uh, by J-Wave. I'm not sure what J-Wave is. It's some sort of interview thing. I don't know. Anyway, he said many studios lag behind their planned release dates, and Death Stranding is slightly behind the initial plan, but it's not too far behind. So, uh, honestly, Kojima being slightly behind on a game isn't that surprising, but at the same time, he doesn't have people hounding him to be done with it right now to have it out.
Mm-hmm.
Like Konami probably forced him to release an unfinished Metal Gear Solid 5. We don't have a proper ending on that or anything. So,
Yeah.
I mean, Death Stranding getting slightly delayed is fine because there's no actual release date. There's just a release window or season, I guess.
Yeah. And is that this year or is it next
It's
year?
supposed to be this summer, I believe. So it might be like right at the end of summer, probably the first of fall, knowing him.
It wouldn't be a proper Kojima game without a delay, though, would it?
You know what? This is all his studio now, so who knows? This could be something else.
I guess that's true. So, there you go. It is being delayed a little bit, or it's behind schedule. It may get some delay. Uh, we'll keep you guys posted on anything that we hear about that. Nintendo Stealth announced a new game this week. So, on Twitter, they just put out a tweet saying, "Hey, you know what? We're releasing a new Labo kit." They've not shown any video of the Labo kit. Nothing. We have a picture. We have
We have pictures.
some speculation as to what it is, but it is Labo VR. So they are releasing a cardboard VR kit for the Switch, and there are multiple versions of this that will launch. So you'll have the $80 version, which will launch with the game, and all of the different VR things. I think there's like 4 different sets or different VR things that come with it. There is a thing that's shaped like a bird, and you look in the back end of the bird for something. I'm really curious to see what that's going to be. Uh,
Hmm.
because it looks really bizarre. There's another one that is like an elephant mask that has a movable trunk that has the Joy Cons in the trunk. There is one that is like a gun that you hold up to your face and you can move around and shoot things. And then there is the camera, which has been shown off since Labo first debuted. I remember seeing that camera in some of the early videos that they showed. So that will finally be out. And that main kit will cost $80. It will come with everything. But then there will also be a $40 version that comes with the VR goggles, the game, and the gun. And then you'll be able to buy the other pieces separately for, I think, $40 as well.
Hmm.
Or maybe they're $20 because you can get what is called the starter kit, which is the game, the goggles, and the gun for $40, and then the other kits are $20. Or you can get everything for $80. So, but we know nothing about what is going to be involved in this. It is pure speculation. I have no idea what they could possibly be doing with you looking through the rear end of a duck. No idea.
It sounds crazier every time you say it, but then I remembered I played Accounting Plus.
So the other thing I'm really curious about is just how comfortable is this going to be on your head? Because I think with the Switch in there, it's going to be a little heavier than typical VR headsets. So it's going to be interesting to see how they balance it um, so that it's comfortable to wear for any length of time.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to find out on that, and especially if how it will attach to your head, if that.
Yeah.
And then from going from that to how long until it's cardboard in the corner of the box in the corner of the room.
Oh, that will be exactly 4 days after you buy it.
Ugh.
So you'll buy it, you'll spend 5 hours putting everything together, then you'll play it for 4 days, and then you'll never touch it again. But it does also then lead to maybe Nintendo's going to do some other stuff with VR now that they've got the headset, even if it is a cardboard headset. We could see some additional VR things from Nintendo. Um, I I really really want to see more about this because I want to know what kind of resolution the games are going to be at, how comfortable it is, just what exactly this VR game is going to, or this VR kit is going to include. So, um, but yeah, Nintendo is officially getting into the VR game, courtesy of Labo.
I'm just thinking back to the PSP with Metal Gear Acid 2 with I think it was called Solid Eye. I've mentioned it before, and that really was kind of just really uncomfortable holding the PSP to your face with that thing attached
Yeah,
for the 3D effect that it's supposed to have. But
and
whatever.
the Switch is heavier than a PS.
Yeah. So
Uh, Anybody that played PC games in the '90s, at least if they haven't played it, remembers the original Diablo game.
good game.
Very, very good game. I remember playing the heck out of that uh, back in the late '90s. And Good Old Games this week announced that it is back. The original Diablo is available on Good Old Games for $10.
$10. That's a steal.
That's a very good deal for Diablo. And they also include both the original visuals, and they've also done some work to upres them
To
as well.
modernize the look on there, I guess.
Yeah.
Widescreen support for high def monitors.
So if you are interested in Diablo, go pick that up. It's a tiny game. It's like 600 megs. Um,
600 megs was like a whole lot back in the day.
it was back in '96 when the game came out, uh, but not anymore. You'll use more bandwidth than that watching a movie.
Oh, it's also compatible with BattleNet.
Yeah, because it does have 4-player multiplayer now.
Yes. Well, it always had the 4 player, but
Yeah, but it's going to be easier to do it now.
so yeah, you can play it in the full glory of 20 FPS,
Woohoo!
and I'm sure it can maintain that and then some.
I would hope so. A
Includes
game
out of
that
the
old.
box Windows 10 compatibility, a host of bug fixes, and high res support via aspect ratio correct upscaling.
There you go. If you haven't played it, I highly recommend it. It is a very good game.
640 megabytes, Windows 7, 8, and 10 compatibility.
Yep. And then for our last news story, we're going to jump ahead to listener feedback because we got a question in from Lang via Facebook this week that said, with Google joining the console wars, what are your expectations of their console? I honestly think it'll just be a Google-branded Ouya with the primary selling point being the integrated Play Store running on computer hardware instead of phone hardware.
That's fair.
And his question is in relation to Google. Number one, Google is getting into the video game business. They're going to be releasing a console.
A while back, there was the leak that Google, what did I say? Google Google is getting
Yeah,
into
you
the
said Google.
video game business, and now we have documents that were leaked today about the controller for that.
Yeah, we have some I don't renders or pictures of the controller, and you know what? I don't think it looks comfortable at all. It looks like an ugly controller.
It looks like a slight. It looks like a Ouya controller that's been modified to be like a PlayStation controller instead of an Xbox style.
Yeah, so I mean, you can see it on the screen, but it's got two analog sticks in the place where the PlayStation controller analog sticks are, a D-pad, buttons, shoulder buttons. It's got everything you would expect, but it looks boxy and angular and very uncomfortable.
Yeah, especially the what I'm gonna call the L2 and R2 of the triggers.
Yeah.
They look very Ouya like, where they're just overly huge, and then it goes right into the shoulder buttons. Similar to the Xbox One controller, but I mean theirs are done in a different way that actually works and looks comfortable and feels comfortable on your hand.
Yeah. Some other things you'll notice about the controller is they put the Google branding everywhere, both with like the Google logo and the color, the four, red, green, blue, yellow. Um, the D-pad is highlighted in the Google color, and the buttons remove letters. So there's no letters on the buttons. There's no symbols on the buttons. The buttons are just uh, the different colors. So you've got yellow, blue, green, and red buttons, which I saw some people online saying, so immediately this controller means that people who are colorblind will not be able to use it.
Or they'll have a difficult time.
Yeah.
And the color scheme is kind of like it rotates per each section of the controller as well.
Yeah. So I'm not excited about this controller in any way. I'm not terribly interested in a Google console, but I mean, they may.
It really depends what the games they'll have on it to show off.
Exactly. I mean, is this just going to be Google Play Store with a controller, or is this going to be something like Xbox's, streaming system where you'll be able to stream games through the Google console or play AAA games on the Google console? We're going to have to definitely get some more information before I would say this is something that I would be interested in taking a look at. But just initially, it's not something I'm interested in, but that could change.
Yeah, I really want to see what's going to be on there. I want to see it used. I want to see if there's what it's going to have to make people consider buying one.
Yeah. So, I mean, this could be really good, or it could be another Ouya. We just don't know. It's way too early to make that determination.
God, yeah.
uh, but aside from that, that will be the show for this week. So thank you, Ethan, for being on the show.
Dang it, I still don't have anything clever to say for this.
You'll just have to prepare something in advance for next week.
To buy sticky notes, write it on there, stick it to my monitor. They'll fall off. I'll forget it anyway. They'll be stuck to my computer in the cooling vents.
Just write you a note. Remember to say something clever.
Something clever.
And there you go. You've done it. If you want to reach out to us, we have tons of new ways to do so. You can email us at podcast@procgent.com. That's PROCGENT.com. You can send us a voicemail if you want by clicking on the voicemail link on the right side of the website. You can send us voicemails up to 90 seconds in length, and we'll play those on future episodes of the show and respond to the questions that you have. If you like what we do here, you can now support us on Patreon, patreon.com/pgint. Patreon supporters will get a video version of the podcast a day early. These will normally go out on Tuesdays. Patreon supporters will get them on Monday. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/progenint. Check out our YouTube channel that we've got and see the content we've got going on up there. And then we still do have the Facebook group where you can interact with us on a daily basis as well.